Good morning, it's Tuesday morning, and as you can see, we are in the car and we are on our way to my first midwife appointment, and we've actually managed to catch some traffic here, so...
And we're having road work down.
Yeah, and there's some road work here, so it's kind of slowing everything down. But the kids are all excited. They brought a whole bag full of books here. I mean, I think they brought enough books to read all the way to Michigan and back. They want to get as many prizes from the summer reading program as they can. So that's why all these books came along with us. Peter, how many minutes did you log already?
Zero. I haven't logged in.
Well, but you just read, what, 17 minutes in the car?
Yeah, about. Where's my piece of paper? I read 8 plus 3 plus 1 plus 30.
That's good progress for Peter. We're doing really well so far. Let's hope the ambition continues on throughout the summer. And that's what's going on.
Look.
Okay, this is what Peter's so excited about. They're cleaning out the ditches. Woo! You like that, Peter? So if some of you are new to our channel, first of all, welcome. But second of all, we are planning on having another home birth. Now that's usually conditional on the 20-week ultrasound to make sure that everything looks normal in that ultrasound. As long as that's normal, our plan is to have a scheduled home birth. She's been my midwife for my last 2 pregnancies, except the one pregnancy she had 2 women giving birth at the same time, and obviously she cannot split herself into 2 people, so she had her backup home birth midwife come and stay with me. So I didn't actually get my midwife for the first delivery, but she was here for my last delivery, and I will put a link to that birth story and birth video of Grace's birth up here, and you guys can go and watch that if you haven't seen that already. Today I am 13 weeks pregnant, so kids are really excited and hoping that we can hear little baby today. Kids are admiring that crane up on the top of the hill. We actually might go past that, guys, because that's over by RPI. Over here behind this fence is a community garden for Troy, which I think is really neat. And they have people come in and work it, and I presume they get to eat the food, but I've noticed this for several years now. There's somebody working, looks like she's picking peas. But I think that's a really neat project for the city of Troy to go ahead and start. Look at all the food there. There's a lot of food. Oh, they've expanded it. Art, it wasn't like this. That's amazing. The city of Troy is not a wealthy city, particularly down in the inner city. So seeing a program, a community program like that of really going and pushing for good solid nutrition and a community garden, I think is an amazing thing. And I think a lot of towns and cities should consider trying to find green space in their local area to try to do this, because it really is a huge benefit to the community. This is part of the RPI campus. It looks like they're doing some work on here, and this is their modern, I think it's their sci-tech building. I'm not sure on that.
We are here at the Midwife. This is a lot different setting than a hospital.
That's for sure. Much nicer.
Here we are. A whole new set of toys.
Okay, over there, Gracie, you can play.
Grace doesn't know what to think of this.
You want a pink cake.
That's the first person that Grace ever met right there.
I mean, the things that I need to know are not likely to change. I need to know your blood type, so if you start bleeding, we know whether or not to worry about it.
Hi.
You know, if that was the case, then it would be a good idea.
I love that. You hear it? I hear a heartbeat. Is that the
We used
baby?
to listen to you like that.
You hear it?
So there's the heartbeat.
I've been waiting weeks for that.
Achiever. Yes.
Is there another heartbeat or just one?
I heard one. I'm not swearing, there are 2,
So
but
I actually think this is, you know, with Mary, Peter, and Lydia, I've always felt the fundal height really early. This one I keep going, where are you? So I'm wondering if it's going to be another small one like this one. What do you think? So great.
I was fat.
Hey, kiddos, come here. Watch this.
If the baby's
Baby
presented
comes
right.
down into the pelvis, and it hits this little tight spot right here, and that's when it'll turn its head and then come across the perineum, and then take a moment and then turn its head, line it up with the shoulder, and then one shoulder be born, the next shoulder, and then we take the baby to mommy and go, my baby, my baby, my baby. It's just that easy.
Yeah, easy, right? Uh-huh.
And I would say it's easy for mommy.
You probably got your bump by sitting kind of wacky for a long time in labor. So your bone
I don't think
was hitting bone.
I don't think he got his when my water broke and he smashed down.
That's the other thing. Sometimes the babies are floating.
Yeah, that was Peter.
And then the water breaks and they slam right into because their bone.
That would explain why the bump is right there.
You know that
He had quite the. I mean, that was a huge human. Yeah. People would look at him like, that's like blood. That's blood under there. My mom's like, oh, I can't touch that.
And you're like, I can touch it.
I can touch it.
Can I touch your horn?
I don't know where it is.
Right on the top there. Can you feel it? He might have grown into it somewhat. It's on that corner. He's got a
A
bump
little
on
bit
it.
right there, but not much.
I think it's grown in with him
Yeah.
a lot.
So I think I felt it a couple years ago and it was more dramatic. Now it's like,
You know who's got a funky bump? It's right here on the top of her head. Drives me because the doctor says, oh, it's fine. Feel the top.
oh yeah,
He's like, oh, that's normal.
Irish setter head.
I'm like paranoid. Something's wrong with you.
No, it's just the with her,
The sutures.
the sutures are just right there.
I'm just spinning this around. Looking for some
What is it when it fuses too
Too
soon?
soon. Yeah.
And that's what I kept on saying. Was that the?
What time is it, Mom?
Just got his head.
It's,
Really.
She's feeling my head now.
Oh, like that too, right there, right there.
does he have a?
Do I have one?
I have a
No, you're not
large
like that.
dent in the back of my head, and that's where.
Oh yes, you do.
What is mommy?
pipe.
What,
My
what's
parents
this
had a
called?
giant pipe, and we were lifting.
Here,
My
for
brother
your-
said, "Here, hold this while I get the worms out from underneath it." And so I lifted it up, and he goes, "Hang on." So he held it, and I went under. And when I
Oh.
went under, he dropped this
Oh.
pipe,
Oh.
and it left. My parents didn't realize it
Dent.
at the time, but I had the worst head pain for days.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Me?
And then after I went to EMT class, I'm like, that's what that dent is. That's where that pipe dropped. I'm like, that was pretty big. That's what's wrong with me. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Trapping. And we'll see you in 6 or 7 weeks.
See ya.
We had quite the storm front come through last night. In fact, it woke us up quite suddenly at, was it 1:30 or 1:45? And strong winds, and the storm cell actually went directly northeast of us and totally missed us. We got a little bit of rain, but the strong cell that had hail and 50 mile per hour winds totally missed us. So once we woke up, that was the end of that. But once this came through, the weather cleared up beautifully. Yesterday was pretty hot. I think it got out to 95.
That house wouldn't that be like nice?
94, 5 degrees yesterday. It was really hot and humid, and today is simply gorgeous, and it's a great trip over to my midwife. She lives in the countryside. Let's see if this will focus.
Show the house.
Just, it's all farms and, you know, land and just beautiful countryside over here. It was a great day to come over here. It's about 50 minutes from our house. It's not that, what'd you say, it was 28 miles?
28 miles.
28 miles from our house, so it's not like it's that far, but because it's over the river and through the woods, it takes almost an hour to get over here. But it's, you know, today is a simply gorgeous day to come over here. As for my appointment, everything went really well. We got to hear the heartbeat and everything sounded well. I'm measuring right to date, and I go back in, I think I set it up for 6 weeks. It's either 6 or 7 weeks, and at that point I will get my script for my 20-week ultrasound. And you know, to me, this pregnancy feels like it's flying by, but I think that's because I have so many kids that keep me very busy that I have don't have time to really have the days drag by. Every day is just something new. This is a really neat agricultural farm, and it's a small, but they're growing. You know, these are tomato plants in the back. There's corn. Back there they had red lettuce and looked like cauliflower. Yeah, nice little farm.